The group sees the expansion as a move to change the world order, which it deems as outdated. However, not all countries who wanted to join BRICS got what they wanted.
During the first phase of expansion, we had to look at the countries that we wanted to bring in, and we also had to look at regional representation. And you saw that we have brought in an additional country from Latin America in the form of Argentina, and then we've brought in 3 countries from West Asia, Saudi Arabia, Iran, and UAE. And we've brought in 2 countries from Africa, Egypt and Ethiopia. So we've covered the whole spectrum of the global south in terms of the countries that we have brought from different regions. And this was done through consensus. All of the 5 countries had to be satisfied that these are the countries that we want collectively to bring in, because BRICS works on consensus. And we found consensus amongst all of us when these countries' names were put on the table.
The group now includes countries who are role players in OPEC.
I think it's good for the BRICS region. Already we had 2 very oil-rich, gas-rich countries in the configuration. Brazil and Russia are significant countries in terms of energy. Now you have these 3 countries that are also well endowed in terms of energy resources. It also further fortifies BRICS standing on the global stage in terms of being a group of countries that have substantial resources, including energy resources, in terms of the global economy, and I think this is significant. It also increases the weightage of BRICS as an entity collectively. It gives us greater influence in terms of global decision making, and I think it's also significant that key countries from the global north are now joining the BRICS family, and that strengthens all of us, and more importantly, it strengthens the voice of the global south on the international stage in terms of what we would like to see changed in championing our interest of the developing countries on the global front.
However, the group will have to deal with the criticism that some of the proposed new members don't have a good human rights record.
Human rights is cherished by all of us. I don't think you can isolate human rights to 1 or 2 countries, and especially countries of the global south. Also look at human rights violations in countries of the global north. No one speaks about that. They're always pointing fingers to countries of the global south, to countries of Africa, that we are violating human rights. What about the rights of countries of the global south that's constantly violated? Look at how the refugees from Africa is treated, as against refugees of the Russia-Ukraine war, how they are treated. This is violation of how we treat human beings very differently based on which part of the world they come from. We all want to champion human rights and work collectively to address this. Within BRICS, we speak very openly about these issues, but I think it's wrong to point fingers at BRICS and even the new members that we have invited to become party to BRICS as being violators of human rights, as if the rest of the world, those that are pointing fingers at us, are not doing that. We didn't create slavery. It didn't come from the global south. We didn't create colonialism. It didn't come from the global south. We didn't create racism. It didn't come from the global south. Where did it come from? These are the very countries pointing fingers at us, where they were the chief violators of human rights.
Russia will host the BRICS Summit next year. Sophie Mokoena, SABC News, Johannesburg.